Hey everyone! Have you ever wondered what would happen if the world had too much information and too little time to process it? What if we drowned in a torrent of entertainment and forgot what it felt like to think? Today, we are diving into one of the most frightening and relevant dystopias of the 20th century, a book that, for me personally, sits on the shelf labeled, "Must read before it's too late." Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury. Why has this novel become a classic? Because it's not just about books. It's about the freedom of thought, about our own willingness to trade the complex for the easy, the deep analysis for the quick click. Bradbury wrote it in the 50s, but he described our 2020s, 2030s, and perhaps even our tomorrow. Personally, what struck me about this book is how subtly the author captured the mechanics of societal self-destruction, based not on pure totalitarian violence, but on our own, voluntary desire to become intellectually numb. Ready? Let's begin our journey into a world where the most dangerous things are paper and ink. Imagine a world where firemen don't put out fires, they start them. Their main job is to burn books. Every single one. This is the reality of Guy Montag, our protagonist, and coincidentally, one of the most dedicated firemen to his job. Montag is a true professional. He loves his work. Fire, to him, is not just a means of destruction. It's beauty, it's cleansing, it's a mesmerizing spectacle. He lives in a society that worships speed, instant gratification, and enormous, screaming wall-to-wall televisions where you can talk to your screen family. His life is perfect. Stable job, a house, a wife, Mildred, who spends her days in her parlor with 4 screen walls, and in her ears always are tiny seashells, through which an endless stream of empty chatter and music flows. Everything in this world is sterilely simple. No contradictions, no philosophy, no art that requires effort. So Montag is walking home from work, enjoying his life, and everything changes. The fateful moment, where the real plot begins, is the encounter with Clarice McClellan, a young neighbor, a 17-year-old girl, who seems like an alien element in this world. She walks on foot, observes nature, and thinks about things. She asks Montag the simplest and most devastating question. "Are you happy?" He replies by reflex, "Of course I'm happy." But this question, like a deeply lodged splinter, gives him no peace. My personal observation: such Clarices exist in everyone's life, disrupting your perfect, yet hollow, order simply by asking an inconvenient question. Returning home after this encounter, Montag discovers that his wife, Mildred, is unconscious. She took too many sleeping pills. Technicians arrive with machines, working indifferently, saying this is commonplace, up to 10 cases a night. And this scene is the first huge, chilling alarm bell for Montag. His wife is unhappy, trying to escape her ideal world. Soon, Clarice disappears. Society simply disposes of those who don't fit the overall picture. And then, on one of the burning calls, the turning point occurs. The firemen arrive at an old house, where the elderly owner refuses to leave. She stands by her books, quotes something, and sets her own house on fire, burning with them. I believe this is where Bradbury shows that books are ideas that people are willing to die for. And Montag steals a book. A single one. He hides it under his arm, his first step on the path to genuine rebellion. Returning home, he shows his wife his hidden stash of books. Mildred is in a panic. At this moment, Beatty, the fire captain, arrives. Beatty is a diabolical intellectual who uses his knowledge to justify the destruction. In a long monologue, Beatty explains why books must be burned. Beatty's core idea is a prophecy about our time. Books began to be burned because people themselves stopped reading them. Entertainment became easier, faster, and to avoid offending anyone, they decided it was easier to burn everything. The state merely satisfied this popular demand. Beatty gives Montag a chance, saying, "Read them for a day or two, convince yourself they are rubbish, and bring them to be burned." Montag realizes he can't do it alone and remembers Faber, a former professor he met in the park. Montag goes to Faber, shows him the book, and asks for help. Faber, though cowardly, agrees. Their dialogue is Bradbury's resistance program. Faber says the problem is the lack of quality information, the lack of leisure to digest it, and the right to act. They devise a plan. Montag will be a mole, and Faber his ears via a tiny earpiece. Montag returns home and, in despair, reads poetry to Mildred and her friends. They cry, shocked to feel true, sad emotions. But they don't want it. They immediately get angry, demanding he remove the garbage that makes them feel. Montag understands his wife cannot be saved. Montag brings a book to Beatty. The captain burns it. And then a fire alarm. When the car stops, Montag realizes with horror that they have arrived at his house. Mildred betrayed him. She walks out, gets in a taxi, and drives away, not looking at Montag. Beatty orders Montag to burn his own house. As he finishes, Beatty, threatening to find Faber, takes the earpiece. Montag snaps. He turns the flamethrower on Beatty. From this moment on, Montag is a fugitive. He burns Beatty. An exciting chase begins, broadcast live on all screens. A reality show where Montag is the victim. He reaches Faber, says goodbye, and runs toward the river. The system releases its main hunter, the mechanical hound. Montag dives into the river. The current carries him away. He emerges on the bank, where he feels silence and sees a warm, peaceful fire. He finds a group of people, the book people. Their leader, Granger, explains their mission. Each of them is one or more books, memorized by heart. If the government destroys the paper copies, the ideas will live in their heads. For me, this is the most powerful image. You cannot burn what is in your head. Montag is happy. He also becomes a book, Ecclesiastes. At this moment, the chase ends, but the mechanical hound needs a finale. The system finds a random passerby, announces him as Montag, and the hound publicly kills him on live TV. The show must go on. And this is where Bradbury leaves an ellipsis. As Montag and his new friends sit around the fire, bombers circle over the city he just left. The city is destroyed. Granger and Montag look at this apocalypse. They realize now is their time. The book people walk toward the ruins. Their mission is simple. Remember the ideas. They are ready to wait until people, having survived the catastrophe, once again feel a hunger for meaning. Fahrenheit 451 is not so much about censorship as it is about self-censorship and the voluntary surrender of complexity. Bradbury scares us not with a dictator, but with ourselves, with a world where you are happy in your ignorance. This book is a call to slow down, a call to read, a call to make time for reflection. Don't let anyone, even yourself, burn your inner library. Think, feel, and please don't be a Mildred. With that, I conclude our retelling. And now, I'm very curious. What book is living in your head today? Write about it in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe so we can continue our journey through the world's most important books. See you soon.